So this video will hopefully explain to you how I make a model of these B&M milk cars from, and there's an example that one that I've already completed, from the Walthers 50-foot Railway Express Agency insulated reefers. The main difference between this car here and the Walthers car sitting here, can I get both of them in? I think so. Is that the Walthers car is set up to have ice bunkers in it, as you can see in this one here. I've already removed the ice bunkers from the roof panels. This particular one I'm working on, you can see I've removed the hatches and have plugged them with the hatches. I just turned them over and glued them on the bottom side. And I'm in the process of filling and sanding these. But that's the main difference between the B&M car and the Walthers car. The other thing you need to do if you buy a decorated one like this is to remove the drain thingies down on the bottom here. There's one, and you can see the little holes down there, hopefully, in each corner. So when I get the kits, and here's the box right there, and the label. Obviously that's an undecorated one. If you can get an undecorated one, fine and dandy. You don't have to strip it. Obviously the Railway Express Agency one is going to need to be stripped. I won't bother with the roof. That's all ready to be painted, and it's just going to be painted black anyways. This is going to be a little bit more work. I've got to take the lettering off of it, and some of these, it's, you know, sometimes it's more of a problem than others. These are going to go, I've got two of these in green. You can see the two roofs here. Those are going to go in the stripper today. And the issue with the decorated one is that you have to add the details. Like this, I add, did I say decorated or undecorated? You have to add the details, the ladders, the brake details, the door details, the brakes underneath. I still have yet to drill this. This one's drilled out. They come with a packet of grab irons that you need to install, and about a half an hour of drilling to put all those grab iron holes in place. So this body just needs to, at this point, is ready to be drilled out, and then it'll join the other ones when they're stripped, the other two when they're stripped, and be painted. So the other major difference on these cars is that the Walthers kit comes with these express reefer trucks, and the B&M cars had roller bearing 70-ton trucks. That were set up with spring dampers on the outside, little shock absorbers. What I use is just standard Walthers Athearn roller bearing trucks that I have laying around, and that gets me by. And that's a 100-ton truck, but it'll work. And when I take the car apart, by the way, the first step when I'm start with one of these kits is to obviously they come with the roof attached. So when I get one of these kits, I remove the trucks, remove the couplers, and drop them in the box. And then the next step is to remove the roof, and boom, you can see there are 4 tabs down each side, and you want to be careful. I try to use my fingernails if I haven't been chewing them too much. Screwdrivers can mark the roof and or the body, so I try not to use the screwdrivers. Once I have the roof separated, you can then remove the weight that's inside that's screwed into the bottom. This one's been removed. Be careful at this point. Don't know if you can see, but there's little roof walk supports on each end that are easily broken, as are the stirrup steps all the way around. So I try to be real careful with these at this point. Now I'm just going to continue with the sanding process here. So I have done several of these cars over the years. This is probably my 3rd batch of doing them, and I usually do 2 or 3 at a time. And in general, this is the most time-consuming part of the process. As you can see from the one I've already done, the decaling isn't very difficult, and the painting, likewise, basic black, not very difficult. However, sanding these hatches down and then building up the ribs, and that'll be the next step, as I will build rib panels to go in there, raised ribs. I'm going to save you the tedium of watching me sand these, so we'll come back to it later. Alright, so at this point, about half 3/4 of an hour later, I've got that last hole plugged and sanded a little bit. It's still not quite cured yet. And I have the other 3 hatches. These 2 are completely sanded. These are ready. And this one down here needs a little bit more work. So I'll come back in a while. I think right now I'm going to put the decorated ones in the stripper, get that going. One of the things I didn't mention earlier about this assembly process, obviously with the decorated ones you have to remove the roof walk, and with these I find that it's nearly impossible to get the mounting lugs to come out, so you end up having to break them off and then glue it back on. I just want to let you know. Like I say, I've done probably 8 or 10 of these, and I have never been able to get those mounting pins off of for the roof walk. So there's where we stand right now. That one still needs a little bit more work.